Come. All right, so like it. Come. Shalom, shalom. Trying to get this thing situated. All praise goes to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua. All praises goes to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushua. We're back in here again, man, for another Sabbath. You know, all praises goes to the Most High, man. All glory and honor goes to the Most High. We're continually, you know, being reminded that these are the last days. We're continually being reminded that we have to keep the Most High's commandments, no matter what. We're continually being reminded, right, through the Most High's hand and judgment of these prophecies, right, and everything that's going on in the world. There is no excuses, right, for Israel. All right, there are no excuses for Israel. Through the Spirit, right, we have to, you know, continue, right, challenging ourselves, man. We have what's called a fiery furnace challenge going on in the Watchmen, man. You have to continue challenging yourself to be better. You got to continue challenging yourself to let go of the old man. You have to continue challenging yourself to study more. You got to keep challenging yourself to let go of those grudges, to pray, and you got to fast more. You got to remove yourself from those wicked scroll addictions where you just can't put the phone down. You got to challenge yourself in these last days to keep up with these prophecies that are unfolding and to make sure your election is assured, man, which is going to segue through the Spirit, right, into this scheduled programming, man, right, that we're going to talk about preeminent evil, all right? What is preeminent evil? There's a spirit, of course, that goes forth amongst our people, right, to be the top dog in everything, to be the boss, to be the lead, to be the director, right, to be the CEO, right, to be the champion, right, to be on top. And that same spirit, right, has transferred itself over to Israel, right? That same spirit has transferred itself, right, transported itself right into Israel, man, because we're still those same people of the curse. Now, what is a preeminent evil, man? Right? It goes into those who want to continue to be on top at the behest and downfall of others, man. Now, we're going to talk about that spirit right on the spiritual context because it is evil to constantly seek to be preeminent, man, to constantly put yourself in these positions, right, of hierarchy, right, whether it be in your home, like dealing with your rib wickedly, well, I'm the man, you know, or whether it be you sisters, man, who can't, you know, show sisterly love as well, because, well, this is my husband, he's over 1,000 bodies, and we got all the truth here. Where are your fringes? So there's a spirit, man, that's causing our people to fall even in these last days because they've come into the truth. They figured out who they are. They've run their course. I heard one brother say, man, I done did all I need to do in Israel. I'm not going to name any names. But a person will raise themselves up so high, man, I done did everything I need to do. I came and I conquered, is what I heard this brother say online. A well-known brother, man. I came and I conquered. This preeminent evil is a destructive spirit, man. It's a destructive spirit, man. And we're going to talk about it through the power of the Most High, right? We're going to talk about that. I want to look up the definition. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to jump right into this, right? Let's do a mighty screen share. Okay, let's do a mighty screen share through the Spirit. Lord willing, is running its course. Let's look this up. All right, let's look this up. Preeminent. Preeminent. It says surpassing all others, right? Let me zoom in on that. Surpassing all others. You see that? Come on. Very distinguished in some way, right? Let's see what it says when it shows more. Preeminence, preeminere, right? It goes into being above, right? In some sort of importance is what it goes into, right? What does Webster say? In having a paramount rank, dignity, or importance, outstanding or supreme. And I don't need to go into, hey, you can read this and you can pretty much, your wheels are starting to turn. You're starting to think about individuals. You may even be thinking about yourself. You're starting to think about the truth, man. You're starting to think about this country. Where do you see this wicked devil spirit, right, popping his head up at, man? Is there a spirit of preeminence in Israel? Right? Maybe it's in your body, your camp even. Maybe it's in your house. Well, I'm older. Well, I was here first. I've been here more years than you. The Most High deals with who he wants to deal with, man. Let's get a precept. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's jump right into this thing, right? Let's get a precept on this through the Spirit. 1 Corinthians. Let's turn to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10. And let's start at verse number 12. Let me zoom in on this thing. Right? 1 Corinthians, chapter 10. And let's start at verse number 12 to say.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 12. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall.
Hey, let him that thinketh he's right on some sort of mountaintop, hey, take heed unless you fall, man. Those who are mighty in the earth, the Most High is giving you a platform. The Most High is giving you a insurmountable amount of resources, man. Let you take a breath, right? Stand back and humble yourself, man. You got all hell breaking loose in the earth. As it was stated in the Bible, before anybody was talking about what's going on, the Bible talked about it first. Before the news picked up on it, before the winter snow apocalypse, before the damn, right, Iran and the NATO and everybody flipping out on each other, before any of these things happen, you have brothers going to the Bible saying, get ready, these things are about to happen. And if you're in the spirit of keeping the Most High's commandments, you don't take that information that you were given by the Most High and put yourself on some sort of plateau above your people to treat them wickedly, to commit usury, to make endless scoff or hate videos, to bear false witness, right? The list goes on, man. You don't take, right, the spirit that the Most High is pushing out on the earth and you start dealing wickedly with each other, man. As if you don't have to stand before the judge, man. As if you got that golden ticket, right? That VIP ticket. hey, you're gonna bypass the line, right? You don't have to stand in line. You done got too used to preeminence on earth. But we just go straight to the jet, man. We ain't gotta go through TSA, man. We just come down here and go straight through. You've gotten used, right, to these gifts, man. Now, preeminent, right? Let me look up preeminence. So preeminence comes from the root word, what? Preeminent. Now, if you're in a state of preeminence, right, it goes into saying the quality, right, or state of being preeminent, or you're used to some sort of form of superiority, right? Some sort of form of being, right, distinctive or superiority, right? It says in Webster, distinction in something commendable. So a lot of people come into this walk, right, or even in the world even, and they create these what the world may call classism, right? Classes of tiers, man. And you fall within these tiers of spiritual wickedness to continually to keep your foot on somebody's neck, man, right? To beat somebody in, man. To make yourself high and mighty, man. There's a preeminent evil spirit, and this is what we're going to go into. Everybody who has this spirit and has had this spirit, it didn't end well. It didn't end well. Countless accounts where this spirit hops on a person and it just doesn't end well. Let's go to the book of Genesis, right? Let's go to the book of Genesis, and I want chapter 6. Let's go to the beginning, right? Let's look at this. This spirit has been around for a while, right? This spirit has been, right, prevalent in the earth for a good bit of time, man. Let's start off in Genesis chapter 6 from the top, man, right? Genesis chapter 6. Let's start out from the top. Let me know when you got it. Bring this out.
Book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Come on. So you have the sons of God, and you got the sons of men. All these regular nations, and then you have these men who come from, God's chosen stock. Now, God's chosen stock of men, right? What did they started doing? They started looking around at all these other nations. That's layman's terms for, hey man, we wanted to do some what they call today interracial marriages, man. Right? Let's get a precept on that in the book of Deuteronomy. Right? What the Most High say? Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7. All right, let's get a quick precept. Deuteronomy chapter 7, and let's start. And in fact, we start at the top. Verse 1.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Geshurites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
What did you see in Genesis?
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Right.
Nor show mercy unto them.
Read.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
And that's what we were seeing happening when it says the sons of God went into the daughters of men, right? You have to go to the precepts and understand, right, what's actually happening here, right, in Genesis, right? Where you have the instructions of the Most High given to the sons of God, understanding these things, right? Even from Adam, man, right, on down. There were instructions and laws and commandments given to the lineages, man. And the other nations, they had what they had. They had their beliefs. They had their remedies, their gods, their idols. They had these things since the beginning, man. But for the point and the sake of, right, understanding this spirit of preeminence, right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 4.
Verse 3, Genesis. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 6, and let's start at verse number 3.
Verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Right.
For that he also is flesh.
Right.
Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Read.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
And
also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
So you have men of renown. When they say giants, it just, people think of fee-fi-fo-fum. People think of Jack and the Beanstalk, man. It's not what that's going into. You have these people who were of preeminence, people who were reverenced, had a name, right? Famous for A through Z, man, right? And that spirit is what takes a lot of God's people and make them go off. Because when you got a name, what do you like to do? You like to boast. You like to boast. You like to have people bow at your feet. And you treat your own like crap, man. Because the gift spoiled the heart, man. Now, it didn't say people of renown and they were doing righteous, did it? Did it say they were people of renown and they were praising the Most High? Did it say they were people of renown and they were giving, sacrifices and offerings? What happens when the preeminent spirit comes upon you? Read verse 5.
Verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
He said the wickedness increased. What do you see today with celebrities? Those who get preeminence. Are they saying all praises to the Most High? Or are they flossing, flaunting, and boasting? Are they increasing in righteous works, fasting and prayer? All these celebrities? Anybody? Favorite celebrities? Anybody? Nope. The only time you see a celebrity bring up God and only God, maybe Jesus, is when they get on that filthy, nasty podium in front of Esau, and Esau's giving them a gift of some sort of trophy, some sort of idol, some sort of recognition or achievement. Well, I like to thank God for, being able to be in this world and my gifts and talents that I've given to the world. You haven't given anything to anybody, man, but ways to sin and wickedness. Keep reading right here, man.
And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Right, read.
And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created.
What happens with preeminence?
I will destroy man who I have created.
When you go and let that evil spirit creep up on you, you're not thinking about the commandments because you're living too much in pleasure. You're living too much in the highlight. You got too many follows. You're in every comment chat, right? You're looking at everyone's comments. It feeds your ego, right? Let's look that up real quick, right? What is ego? It feeds your ego. The ego, and this is AI, so we're going to see what it says first. And we're going to go down into other sources as well. Let's see. It says, is a part of human psyche responsible for meditating between primitive desires, moral, social demands, super ego, this is new, serving as the organized conscious self that, okay, so it's just going into a bunch of word salads right here, right? Let's get a more definitive, right? Ego from Webster, the self, especially as contrasted with another self of the world. Egotism, sense, self-esteem, One of the three divisions of, let's read this. Let's just go into this real quick. Just see what it says. All right. One of three divisions of the psyche, the psychoanalytic theory that serves as organized conscious mediator between a person and reality. So even these definitions, they're struggling to surmise, right, this thing called ego. Who in here knows what ego is? Elijah? Any of y'all? What is ego? What do y'all think ego is? Or what have you heard about ego? Layman's term, say it again. When you think you're the stuff. Why couldn't they just say that? When you think you're the stuff, right? What about you? What have you perceived that term being used for, and how you can visually see that term being used? Like, what do you perceive ego to be?
Having the mindset of being the best person in the room.
Having a mindset of being the best person in the room, right? So there may be, these ways of talking about like an ecosystem, but this ego, right, ego, right, is the sense of self-identity and self-importance, right? So that goes into how you perceive yourself, right? So people who have this preeminent sense, right? Let's see what this is. No, ego and pride are not the same. Pride can be healthy self-satisfaction. You see how Esau twists this thing? You have these different perceptions of what it means to go into an ego, right? Now, egos are normally negative, right? They call a person, right, egotistical. If that's still a definition that's being referenced, right? Inflated, exaggerated sense of self-importance, right? Excessive pride. So you can't have one that says it's not about pride, right? But then one that goes into pride. The ego itself, man, is something that desires, right, self-gratitude. You want those applauds, you want those likes, you want those follows, you want those friends, you want that money. This is a spirit that's evil inherently, man. Right? And you gotta let go of these things, man. Right? The Most High, what did he say in Genesis, man? I will destroy man whom I created because the wickedness increased upon the earth, man. Let's go to the book of Genesis chapter 4. Let's show you what this spirit does. Let's go back. You know what I'm saying? Let's go even further back. Let's show you what this spirit does through the precepts, right? You all know where we're going with this, right? Who are we talking about here? Start at verse 3. Genesis chapter 4. Let's start at verse 3. Bring this out.
Book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 3.
Right.
And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Already, you can. Now you're seeing this spirit was what they call an underlining issue the whole time, right? Wanting to be on top, wanting to be in front of somebody. Keep reading.
And Abel, he also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Right.
But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect.
He had not respect. Read.
And Cain was very wroth.
And what?
And Cain was very wroth.
So there you go. Envy, jealousy, and I want to be, in place of respect. Why is his stuff respected? Read.
And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Right.
If thou doest well.
If thou doest what?
If thou doest well.
Right, read.
Shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And to these shall be his desires.
Wow.
And thou shalt rule over him.
The Most High already put it plain, man, right? Through this similitude discussion, a sin lieth at the door. So if you are a spirit that if you do have that spirit on you, right, a sin is at your door, man. He might be inside with you already. Read.
God. Verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
And did what?
And slew him.
And that's where that spirit will take you. Now sin has ruled over you, man. Now you're killing your neighbor. Now you're casting down fellow Israelites. Now you're shunning them. You won't talk to them, but you'll talk about them. You won't pray with them, but you'll throw curses up against them. But you'll pray for curses against them. Now you're turning into, now sin has ruled over you, man. And it's ruling over a lot of households right now. Where people are putting down the Bible, they're putting down the commandments, and they're picking up sin, man. It's more convenient. Why I need to do this, man? I'm so sick of these lessons. I'm so sick of this. What are they even saying? I don't understand. Why do they keep saying bring out a precept? Why are they always on the street, man? I'm trying to go into the store. You have sin ruling over you, man. And it's only going to get worse as the prophecies, right, keep lining up. Look, hey, the Most High got them stacked. The angels, right? Hey, everybody's ready. The holy hosts, hey, they're ready to kick things off, and they're going to continue kicking things off, man. But here you are on this earthly, fleshly, terrestrial level, and you have preeminence over vanity, man. Everything you've called to a fruition of your own self-pleasure has been vanity, even up to this point, man. Now you slay and are killing, right, your own people, man. Now, this is what I said. The preeminent spirit always gets touched up. Bounce down to verse 13.
Verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I could bear.
What happens when that spirit hits you?
My punishment is greater than I can bear.
You're going to get touched up by the Most High. Eventually. You're going to be like, damn, I can't take this. I can't take what the punishment for my ridiculousness, for my arrogancy. I can't take the punishment for how I was living on the earth. It's always going to catch up. And that's why we have to come out of her. That's what the scriptures say in Revelations. Come out of her. Come out of the ways of Babylon. We're going to talk about that through the Spirit, right? Let's go to the book of Acts, though. Let's get another precept. We're going to talk about that through the Spirit, man. You got to come out of this way of letting these spirits just hop on you, man, right? And or you're going to be what the title of this lesson is, Preeminent Evil. Right? Let's go to Acts chapter 8. Let's jump to Acts chapter 8. Salakia. Let me know when you got it. And you can start at verse 18. Let me get there with you. All right, bring it out.
Book of Acts chapter 8, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
And when Simon saw that through laying on of the apostles' hands, the Holy Ghost was given, he offered them money.
So here it is again, right? The spirit showing his ugly head, right? The preeminent evil spirit, right? I'm seeing you do something and I'm envying that. I want to be that guy. I want to be that woman. I want to be married. Why she got to be married and have children? Her husband taking care of her. I want to be taken care of, man. And so you move with a wicked spirit just because the eyes and the lust, hey, that desire is off, man. And Simon, hey, he was about finessing. Simon was a finesser. Keep reading.
God, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Saying, give me also this power, that on whomsoever I lay hands, he may receive the Holy Ghost.
And he said, I want to do what y'all doing, man. Right? I don't care what it costs. Hey, let me get down on that. Right? Read.
God. But Peter said unto him, the money perish with thee, because thou hast thought that the gift of God may be purchased with money.
And you thought that this thing was, right, for play, what they say, man. You thought we was up here being gestures. You thought we had the same spirit that you had. Right. So a lot of people coming to Israel with the world on them because they are looking at Israel for something that they can finesse like they did in the world, man. Right. They're looking at this, they're looking at the truth just how they look at the world, man. Ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas. Not just a bunch of niggas playing dress up, cosplay, man. Y'all ain't doing nothing but throwing on different clothes. Y'all the same niggas. You know what I'm saying? They start wagging their finger. You the same, you know? And they bring their spirit, and then you get caught out here with some people who will leave you at the drop of a dime, man. Who will sell you out. That's an agent. A coon even, man. Right. When the fire hits the fan, they're gonna take those fringes off. They're gonna take their head wraps off, right? They're gonna throw them to the ground. They're gonna grab the Gillette in the damn shaving cream, right? They're gonna be in there shaving everything off their face, and you're gonna get caught out there with an imposter who only sought to have preeminence in this truth, who only sought to be, lifted up through famous debates or something, man. I don't know. Famous debates, right? What's the thing? Clubhouse. You got a clubhouse spirit, man. Too old to be in a club, man. Come out the clubs, man. Come out of this world of arguing and effeminism, man. Clubhouse, when I looked on there, it just started sounding effeminate, man. I'm like, this shit sound like a damn what do you call those things back in the day? What do you call those things the old people used to watch? You don't know. It's
Are you talking about sitcoms?
It's not sitcoms. Stories. They are called stories, right? So it's like these old shows, right? Where it was always all this drama. And it was like As the World Turns is one of them, right? You don't know about this, so I can't ask you, right? I had to kind of dig back because they're called stories. So basically, it's what a reality show kind of got their structure from, except for it wasn't live. It was recorded dramas. Oh. And, elders and parents and grandparents, they'll all sit in front of the TV to watch what's called these stories, man. These drama-filled, right, TV shows. And it was just effeminism, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just couldn't stand it, man. And so I'm sitting here on these clubhouses, and it just started to look like a damn reality show, man. Just straight effeminate, screaming and arguing and debates, and just like, man, men shouldn't be behaving like this, man. But people were seeking preeminence. Hey, I'm gonna put him down back in the crowd, man. Kick him off the platform, whatever they call it, man. Kick him off the stage. It was just ridiculousness, man. And for those who know what I'm talking about, you know the stories, right? People know what I'm talking about, man. Soap operas. Somebody put it in the chat. The soap operas. Soap operas. People have turned this truth into a soap opera, man. Right? So, I'm saying that to say you can't buy this thing, man. You can't have that wicked spirit on you. That's why people run from a lot of people, because their spirit is not sincere. Right. Let's keep reading Bible Shop.
Verse 21. Thou hast neither part nor lot in this matter, for thy heart is now right in the sight of God.
For thy heart is now right in the sight of Yahweh. Read.
Repent therefore of this thy wickedness, and pray God, if perhaps the thought of thy heart may be forgiven thee.
Read.
For I perceive that thou art in the gall of bitterness,
right,
and in the bond of iniquity.
That's that preeminent evil. And everyone who gets in that spirit, right, they get caught up. Read.
Verse 24. Then answered Simon and said, pray ye to the Lord for me, that none of these things which ye have spoken come upon me.
Now you're like, it's more than I can bear. It's starting to sound like Cain, ain't it? This is more than, hey, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think this through, Spirit. I didn't count the cost. Because that judgment is going to weigh even heavier than what you thought you was doing in the world, man. What you thought you was doing to your neighbor. Committing usury, man. Putting up the curses because they're in a different camp. We don't associate with nobody. And I'm going to tell you like this, man. We love our brothers at, ISUPK. We love our brothers at IUIC. We love our brothers, you know what I'm saying, Sakari, Memphis, man. You know what I'm saying? All the different SOT, Songs of Thunder, right? And any other camps you could think of, man. Hey, man, why would we do different? Please explain to me. Why would you be on this side of the fence doing anything other than showing that brotherly love, man? Why? You can't put an excuse in front of salvation, man. And if you're serious about getting salvation, you got to put all that other crap down, man. I want to say something else, but you got to put all that other crap down, man, right? You got to be bold enough to stand for righteousness, not to stand for the traditions of man, right?
Right.
It's too late in the game to be acting like something you're not. Let's go to the book of Numbers. Let's get an example on that spirit. Let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 16, starting from the top. Let's get an example, all right? Through the spirit. Numbers, chapter 16, and let's start at the top. Bring this out.
Book of Numbers, chapter 16, verse 1.
Now
Korah, the son of Azar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Elah, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men,
right?
And they rose up before Moses.
So you have these priests, right? You have these men who do the service of the Most High. They took up a bunch of other men, and they was eyeing Moses. Hey, you know what eyeing means, right? Looking them up and down. They was eyeing Moses. And he got a great company of men together. Right, Elijah? Right, Leah? Got a bunch of people together to confront who the Most High chose. Right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 3. No, Salaka. Verse 2. And there rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, man of renown.
Famous in what?
Famous in the congregation, man of renown.
So they had the what spirit on them? They had the preeminent spirit on them. That was the only reason that many people gathered under those few men, because those men had got used to being, man, we the servants of God, man. We the Levites. What you talking about, man? You need forgiveness of sin? You get forgiveness. You forgive forgiveness. You get forgiveness. They you know what I'm saying? They had that spirit on them. And all it took was for that spirit to look at who may be higher than them. Nah, what he doing? What do you think he doing? What's his name? Moses. Moshe. What type of name is that? I mean, they probably was hating on every single thing, man. Keep reading.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron.
Right.
And said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. So
they now are accusing Moses and Aaron of having a preeminent spirit. How you gonna lift yourself up above everybody like we ain't holy too? Then the Lord say we set apart. He said Israel set apart. Y'all constantly bringing out Deuteronomy 7. I thought we were God's chosen special people. I'm special too, ain't it? I mean, you see that? Yeah. This is textbook preeminent spirit, man. And you can see it rifled all through the scriptures, right? You have anything?
Oh, no.
Okay, come. So we're gonna talk about so the examples, right? Everyone, remember this, everyone who showed that spirit, the Most High touched up. I can't bear this, they get touched up. Each and every one. There is no escape when you let that spirit, now you try to get higher than what the Most High doing. Because the Most High chose Moses and Aaron. You let that spirit walk you into the Most High's chosen. Now you see what I'm saying? Now you're challenging a power that you don't, your gloves, you shouldn't even be putting on gloves. You can't fight the Most High, man. Right? Let's bounce down to verse number 8, Baba Kashaf.
Verse number 8. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi.
Ye sons of who?
Ye sons of Levi.
Watch how humble this brother Moses is. What did he say?
Seemeth it but a small thing unto you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel.
Is it a small thing that the Most High chose? Hey, y'all chosen. Right. Why y'all coming at me for? Y'all have the service of the Most High. One of the most serious, important jobs to do is to be a Levite, man. Read.
God. To bring you near to himself.
Wow.
To do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
Read.
And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee. And seek ye the priesthood also.
What's preeminence?
And seek ye the priesthood also.
What's preeminent?
And seek ye the priesthood also.
This is textbook right here. This is crazy. What does it say in verse 11?
Verse 11, for which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord.
He didn't say against himself, did he?
Y'all
came against me. Moses knew you. I'm only here because the Most High got me here.
Right.
So if you coming against me, he already knew. Did you just see what happened with Pharaoh? You didn't just see that. You didn't just see that, right? Because he thought it was sweet too. What does it say? Keep reading.
For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron, that ye murmur against him?
Dang. And y'all thought it was sweet to move like this.
See that?
And so you don't know. So pause. So you don't know who in this truth and who hasn't woken up to the truth that the Most High is dealing with. You see that? That the Most High is dealing with. Because it may be somebody who has to be awakened and you're casting them, to the wayside. Or it may be somebody who already in the truth and the Most High chose them and you're not doing right by them, right? This is why it's important, okay, to humble yourselves in this walk and to pace yourself, man. It may be a sister who was chosen to be a prophetess and you're dragging her through the mud because you don't like that sister. You don't like who that sister is you don't like who she's trying to associate with. But the Most High chose that sister to be a prophetess. So now, because you're on a carnal level, because now you're on a base level with your understanding and with your spirit, you're seeking preeminence over somebody because you've been in the truth.
Right.
Because you got a few more precepts. You done been to, maybe 20 more Passovers than this person. You're going off, man. And y'all better be careful because you might be going against the Most High.
Right.
You might be challenging the Most High's chosen. right? And this is a scary thing to think about. Okay. If you you know what I'm saying, let's jump down to verse 20, because in every example, what I say, remember, the Most High gonna do what? He gonna touch you up. Of these the preeminent evil, right? Let's jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
Wow. Separate yourselves from this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment, is crazy. It's like he's saying, I'm finna do something for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't hear the Most High talk like that. That I may consume them in a moment. Sounds like this, right? The snap of a finger, the blink of an eye, right? Keep reading.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth by all the congregation? So
that's crazy, man. Because, you know, like we said, this is more than I can what? Bear now.
Yeah.
I was just playing. That's what comes out. I was just joking. JK, they be texting that. And then what they do, Kamaya? Put the JK up. I'm just joking. Then how people abbreviate all of what's another abbreviation people be doing, man? LOL. Right? JS. I was just saying, I'm just playing. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now it's emoji. But you done already walked down that path and caused the road of destruction. Look behind you when there's nothing but dilapidated buildings and fires burn. You didn't even realize you burnt 1,000 bridges. They still on fire. You done collapsed 20 homes. You done broke up 3 marriages. You done caused 20 people to fall out the truth. You're not seeing the damage. You didn't even look behind you, right? Let's jump down, Baba Kashah, for verse 27.
Verse 27. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, the Danith, and Abraham on every side, and Daneth,
and Dathan,
and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children.
Wow. Right. You see that?
Oh man.
Their wives, their sons, and no discrimination, no respect of persons, and their little children. Read.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works.
Right.
For I have not done them of mine own mind.
Humble boy. That's a humble man. Read.
If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, them the Lord have not sent me.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up, will all the appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
Right.
And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder.
That's right.
That was under them.
Right.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods.
Wow. And that had to be a scary sight. Keep reading.
They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them.
Wow.
And they perished from among the congregation.
Wow. Read.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them.
Right, man. So everybody was hearing these folks scream, and they started running. Because their scream was probably getting more faint and more faint as they fell into the earth, man. Right? We don't know how deep this hole was that opened up. We don't know. They call them sinkholes today, right? But we don't know. We don't know. We can only, you know what I'm saying? You can only visualize or imagine, right? Meditate upon how terrifying this, spirit is that the Most High pushed because of your spirit of being evil, right? The spirit of judgment against the spirit of preeminence. It always, keep reading, it ends like this. Read.
Now all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
Lest the earth swallow us up also. Read.
And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed 250 men that offered incense.
And all those princes and all the people who gathered together, because they was followers of famous, they like the popularity contest, man. They, you know what I'm saying, followers of men.
Right.
They got it too, because they had the spirit to come up. He saw the hearts. He saw your heart. So you in your camp, y'all get it too. That's what the Lord said. You and your buddies. Since you have the hate of thy neighbor on your heart. See, if you read in the precepts, there's no way in hell you could be in the truth, operating like some of these people are operating in the truth. If you believe what the Most High put down. Got something?
I was gonna say, well, you know, Israel saw this and they still went off.
They did.
So I'm just saying, like,
no, that's fact. That's facts. Yeah. That's facts. That's facts.
I still to this day, I don't understand why they still went off after seeing this. I mean, it's time and time again, the Most High proved himself. And they still had that preeminent spirit on them. Right. That preeminent evil, actually.
Right.
Because they kept what did they say? They were bigger than the system.
Right.
Try making Moses do everything for them, saying if you're Most High chosen one, things of that nature, you do this, that, and third.
Right.
Or thinking that they tired of eating. You said.
Oh yeah.
Said it last week. Eating manna. Man, we don't want this food. It came strictly from the Most High.
Exactly.
We want what all the other nations are eating, things of that nature.
Give us this flesh. We want some flesh to eat.
Quill's flesh too. Still crazy to me.
Right.
But that just go to show, man. A lot of our people won't actually listen, no matter how many. I'll say, no matter how many chances they get to correct themselves.
Right.
They still have that spirit on them.
Right.
And to that point, hey, whatever the Most High do to you, hey,
it's
on
right,
you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that goes for all of us. Just because we bringing it out don't mean that the spirit can, you know what I'm saying? Like that spirit, everybody has to watch, man. That's an evil ass spirit. It's an evil spirit, man. And excuse, I guess the language. Don't want to be too profane, but that's an evil spirit, man. Right? Where you don't see that it's on you, that you're looking down on people, man. You're looking down on the Israelite community. You're looking down on the Most High changing somebody's heart from wearing skimpy clothes to a dress. Who you think you are now? You was just over here selling cat. You was just over here doing that. You just smoking weed last year. Who you think you are? And y'all, you have to watch that spirit, man. Right? Now, who are the Pharisees? Who are the Pharisees? Let's go to Matthew chapter 16. Who are the Sadducees? Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 16. Because all we're doing is just pulling out examples. All we're doing is just going, through the scriptures. Right? Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. Who are the Pharisees? All right, let's go to the blue letter. Let's go to the blue letter. All right. Matthew chapter 16. And let's look at Pharisee. It's G-Pharisee. 5330. G530. And in the Greek, they will say Phariseos or something to that degree.
Strong's G 5330. Pharisaios.
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 You see that? Esau always say it ugly, man. Pharisaios, right? So the Pharisees, right? They were a camp or a belief system of brothers, right? They had their structure and how they believe the law and how they believe doing certain things, right? But they also had a spirit of preeminence on them to where they thought doing my alms and all these outward appearance things were the task versus cleaning their hearts. They thought the biggest beard or praying the loudest or, they looked at the outwardly things, the traditions being better and stronger than the commandment, the true, sincere commandment. So it says, we'll read a little bit of this, right, for sake of time. A sect that seems to have started after the Jewish exile, see, they're already going off. In addition to OT books, the Pharisees recognized an oral tradition and standard, right, a standard of belief in life. They sought for distinction and praise by outward observance of external rites and outward forms of piety. Now, when we look up the word piety, okay, it goes into how hard a person prays. How I'm giving piety, I'm giving reverence, I'm being super religious. Piety goes into my garments are super long, look at me. And I've been in the truth for 30 years, look at me. We ain't never been defeated in a debate, look at me. Piety goes into I'm going hard for the truth or this religion or any religion, so give me reverence. That's what piety is, you know what I'm saying? To reverence your religion in such a hard way that you seek that, that satisfaction on the end of it. It says a belief or point of view that is accepted with unthinking, conventional reverence. So you're giving praise, you're giving all this glory and honor to the Most High, right? Let me go back to the blue letter. You're giving all this worship and honor to the Most High, and that's where you're looking for forms of gratification for others, looking to be lifted up because, brother, you read your prayers mighty. Then you, instead of saying, "Oh, praise to the Most High," you be like, "Yeah, I know." You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for about 20 years, man. Hey, brother, man, you really brought it out mighty today. Instead of saying, "All praise to the Most High," you be like, "Man, what else I'm gonna do?" That's what I do, man. I get down like that out here. So it's about someone sees your piety, someone sees that you're on fire. Piety is another way for saying you're on fire, right? But you take that for preeminence. So now you're seeing the spirit of who people, the Pharisees, right? They observe keeping the commandments and a lot of traditions, but it was for the outward gratification, right? It says they observed outward observance of external rites, outward forms of piety, and such as ceremonial washings, fastings, prayers, and alms giving, and comparatively negligent to genuine piety. There's nothing wrong with having piety, which is the reverence, the praise, and worship to the Most High. It's about it not being genuine, right? It says they prided themselves on their fancy good works. You see that? They prided themselves on fancy good works, right? Now let me jump down. According to Josephus, right, which is a notable scholastic reference, there were about maybe 6,000 Pharisees, okay? Just roughly a rough number, okay? They were bitter enemies of Yahushua in his cause and were in turn severely rebuked by Yahushua for their avarice their ambition, hollow reliance on outward works, and affection of piety in order to gain popularity. So now you have a structured, idea, right, on the Pharisees. They knew the law. They were trying to do the law, but in a way, they were being hypocrites, right? Now, who are the Sadducees? G 45:23. It says what?
Strong's G 45:23. Sadducaios.
And the Sadducaios.
Sadducaios.
Right? And so let's go down to these Sadducees. The word Sadducees, and the word Pharisees goes into to separate. I forgot to go there, right? But it goes into, let me go back. Let's just show that for the edification. All right. The word Pharisees goes to be a separatist or to separate, as it says right here, Pharisee, right? To be a party of the member of the Pharisees, meaning what? To separate. Meaning to separate. Right? Zoomed in too much. So that should already tell you what you need to know. All right, about being a Jew or being a child of the Most High, and you're calling yourself a Pharisee. Now let's go down to Sadducees, right? It means the righteous. Now you have people today calling themselves the righteous. All right, only the righteous. We got it all. So you have a lot of Pharisee spirits, you have a lot of Sadducee spirits, right, that are on the earth, right? And the Sadducees are those Jews who denied the oral law was a revelation of Yahweh to the Israelites, and who deemed the written law alone to be something they had to do for only the nation, right? And they denied the following doctrines. So the Sadducees denied the resurrection of Yahushua. The Sadducees denied, the immortality of the soul, existence of spirits and angels and things of that nature. So they didn't believe a lot of the scriptural breakdowns. They had their own way of breaking it down. So you had these two different types, of people, come up against Yahushua. And what did Yahushua say when they tempted him about a sign from heaven? Read verse 2 from Matthew 16 to verse 2.
Verse 2. He answered and said to them, when is it evening? Ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red.
So they knew how to discern the weather, in a sense, right? Read.
In the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites.
What did Christ say?
O ye hypocrites.
Right.
Ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times?
So y'all can see what's going on with said weather by looking at the sky in the daytime, but you all aren't discerning, right, these scriptures. You're hypocrites because of how you move in the earth and how you believe and how you treat your brothers, how you even come against me even. So this spirit we're going to cast down today, man. We're going to continue casting this spirit down because this spirit is a wicked spirit, right? Now I want you to jump down, right, to verse number 6 for the edification.
Number 6. Then Yahushua said to them, take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Right.
And they reasoned among themselves, saying, it is because we have taken no bread.
And so they didn't even understand what Yahushua was saying right here. When he said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? Those people who know this law, they got a body, they call themselves the righteous, but there's leaven, right, within their movements, man. There's leaven within their ranks, right? Now he wasn't talking about bread, was he? When he mentioned leaven, he wasn't talking about bread. Let's get the edification. Jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11. How is it that ye do not understand that I spake not to you concerning bread, that ye should beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees?
Right, read.
Then understood they how that he bade them not beware of the leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
So it wasn't about the bread. Now they understand that it wasn't about the doggone, right, loaves of bread. It was about the doctrine that a lot of people come with, right? That causes this preeminent thing, this preeminent evil, right, to take hold of you. And now you're considered a hypocrite by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right. Now you're walking in hypocrisy, right? You're not doing thus says the Lord. Let's go to 3 John. Right? Let's get this example. Let's go to 3 John. All right. And let's start at verse 1. All right. So in this example, and people pretty much, should know this. And if you don't, we're going to cover this. You had John. Okay. He was doing the works, and he had people doing the work as well. He had these, the word we'll call missionaries now, but he had men doing the work as well. You understand that? And at this particular place, right, it was some brothers on fire, right? The piety was through the roof, and John was exhorting them. But then you had someone there as well named Diotrephes, who was, man, he had a super strong, preeminent spirit on him. That's all I can say, right? He didn't give a damn. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. And if no one was about what he wanted to do, he wasn't letting them come in. He wasn't letting them, be a part of anything. He was about himself and popularity. But let's read this.
Look at 3 John chapter 1, verse 1.
The
elder unto the well-beloved Jaius, whom I love in the truth.
Right, who he loved, this Jaius, who I loved in the truth. Read.
Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospered.
Right.
For I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth.
Testified of what?
Testified of the truth.
Right.
That it is indeed, even as thou walkest in the truth.
Even as thou walkest in the truth, right? So this is why we're saying there's a line being drawn. You're either doing this thing for the right reasons, or you're not doing this thing for the right reasons. Bounce down to verse 8.
Verse 8. We therefore ought to receive such that we might be fellow helpers to the truth.
So it says we got to receive these people. We got to receive, right, those who are coming, right? We're out here for the lost sheep. All right. What does it say? What does it say next?
Verse 9. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence.
Who loveth what?
To have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not.
But he not even dealing with John, let alone the people appointed by John, man. See, Diotrephes, he got too comfortable with the follows, with the women, maybe, with the gifts. He got too comfortable. Read.
We're saying, wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doeth.
Wow.
Prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith.
And not content therewith, right? And that's the spirit of having preeminence, man. You're not okay with what the Most High is giving you. We saw that right in the book of Numbers. Keep reading.
Neither doeth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church.
Neither do you receive the brethren. You don't even love your fellow Israelites, man. And those who would be a part of this, hey, you push them away because, well, he ain't in my camp. Shoot, he ain't on my leadership. And now there's a problem. But what does it say in verse 11?
Verse 11, beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth good is of God.
Say it again.
He that doeth good is of God, but he that doeth evil have not seen God.
Man, and that's mighty through the Spirit. Those who are walking in wickedness, you haven't even seen Yahweh. You don't know him. You're still moving and off spirit, man. Right? And look at what AI says. Let's pull this up. Look at what AI says. Men who seek preeminence, or women, they say it's linked to the DNA of Diotrephes. That's an AI. You see that? They went. AI uses the Bible to discuss preeminence as a DNA default of this guy who, in Diotrephes, right? I forget what his name means, but we'll look it up. I think it's like a worshiper of Zeus or something like that, but we'll look it up, right? It says, are characterized by a strong desire, preeminence, to be what?
First.
To be first, recognized, or in control, frequently prioritizing self-promotion over the service and or over humility, right? This behavior involves demanding attention, controlling situations, rejecting outside authority, and sometimes engaging in divisive, selfish ambition. So your wheel should be turning. Who's moving like this in the earth? Who's doing these things? Right? Do you know someone with this spirit on them? Right? Who has a desire of preeminence? And this was just a light search, men that seek preeminence. And why did it go right to the Bible? Why didn't it pull up Trump? Why didn't it pull up a president? Why didn't it pull up a celebrity? Right? What does it say right here? Diotrephes was a troublesome church leader mentioned in the Bible in 3 John, right? He loved preeminence, refused to follow the Apostle John's authority, right? He rejected John's messengers. He spoke wickedly about them. He cast out members who showed hospitality to others, making him a negative example of leadership. A negative example of leadership in the church. His name literally means nourished by Zeus or by Jupiter, which suggests, right, a self-centered, proud person, man. Now, who has that spirit, man? You see what I'm saying? And today, our people are learning that spirit from this nation. Today, our people are learning how to be in that spirit, to not follow commands, not be in order. They're learning that from this nation. Let's go to the book of 1 Maccabees real quick, man, right? Let's get a precept. Let's go to the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 5. This is a learned, evil, wicked spirit. And if you're in these last days and you can't go to camp because you're not bringing it out, that's off. You leave camp because you didn't get to bring it out and you're in a pissed off mood because you didn't get to bring out or prophesy, that's off. If you, it's off, man. Man, I didn't get to call no precepts today, or they ain't put me in the rotation. It's spirits out here who it only gets satisfied by doing that, man.
Right.
Being in the limelight is what they call it. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 5, and let's start at verse 49.
Book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 5, verse 49.
Bring it out.
Wherefore Judas commanded a
Proclamation,
to be made throughout the host, that every man should pitch his tent in the place where he was.
Right. So they were about to go to war. So they came to the specific area, right? Judas gave the command, hey, pitch your tents. We finna do it right here. We finna go at them right here. Read.
So the soldiers pitched and assaulted the city all that day and all that night, till at the length the city was delivered into his hands. So
the Most High was with Judas, right? Judas Maccabees, right?
Right.
The Most High was with the one that he chose, right, to do this specific siege, right, to besiege this city. The Most High was with them, man. Keep reading.
Verse 51. Who then slew all the males with the edge of the sword, and razed the city, and took the spoils thereof, and passed through the city over them that were slain.
Right. So they razed the city, they took the spoils, and they killed all the firstborn males, man. They killed all the males, not the firstborn. They killed all the males. And this is something that we know that they would do to us. The Most High put it in the spirit, right, of our people, right, through the leadership of Judas, right, to have success in this besieging of this city. Let's jump down to verse 54.
Verse 54. So they went up to Mount Zion with joy and gladness.
Hey, we won. It was a success. Read.
Where they offered burnt offerings, because not one of them were slain until they had returned in peace.
Not one of them perished. Read.
Now, what time as Judas and Jonathan were in the land of Galilee, and Simon has brother in Gilead, before Ptolemaeus, Joseph the son of Zacharias, and Azarias, captains of the garrisons, heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done.
And they heard of these valiant acts and warlike deeds that these brothers had done, man. Right? So you have these particular individuals who heard of what happened, the success. Right? Read.
Verse 57. Wherefore they said, let us also get us a name and go fight against the heathen that are round about us.
And then the preeminent evil, wicked spirit jumped on them to jump out of rank. No one gave them the commandment, the order. No general, no captain gave them this right order to go and do this. They just said, you know what, man, we can do it too. I want a name. I want to teach today. I want to bring it out. They should know who I am too, man. And that same spirit is in the world, because that's why you have so many people trying to be music artists, rappers, NBA players. You want a name too. They say they want the bag. No, they want the name. They want the name and the fame, man. Keep reading.
Gone. Verse 58. So when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them, they went toward Jamnia. Then came Gorgias and his man out of the city to fight against them. And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight and pursued unto the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men.
And it didn't go so well for them.
Yeah.
He got a name, all right. He got a name of you fail, a failure. Read.
Verse 61. Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren.
Because they were what?
Because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren.
Read.
But thought to do some valiant act.
And that's that preeminent spirit. There's always a consequence. There's always a consequence. Because you thought that you could go and do what the Most High has ordained for somebody else's lot, versus being humble and waiting for the Most High, right, to lift you up. Read.
Verse 62. Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those by whose hand deliverance was given unto Israel.
So, and don't gloss over verse 62. Oh. Moreover, these men came not of the seed of those by whose the hand the Most High chose to deliver Israel from it. It wasn't about that we're all Israelites. It was about he had a chosen within the chosen. He had a chosen within the chosen. So even Israel being chosen, you can get it if you go off, if you fall for the okie doke. Right? Read.
Howbeit the man Judas and his brethren were greatly renowned in the sight of all Israel.
They got the preeminence, but the Most High gave them preeminence, right? Read.
And of all the heathen, wheresoever their name was heard of.
You see that? So they didn't do it for a name. They did it to serve the Most High. And the Most High gave them a name. All right. Let's get that in the book of Psalms. Let's get a precept. In the book of Psalms, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 75. Let's get a precept. The Most High did that, man. He decided who was going to be preeminent in that time, man. And even in this time, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 75, and let's start at verse number 4.
Book of Psalms, chapter 75, 4.
I
I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly.
See that?
And to the wicked, lift not up the horn.
Lift not up the horn, right? You can't just place yourself, right, on this plateau, and the Most High ain't dealing with you, man. Read.
Verse 5. Lift not up your horn on high.
Say it again.
Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck.
Read.
For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south.
Read.
But God is the judge.
So promotion comes from who?
But God is the judge.
Read.
He put down one and set up another.
The Most High gives the promotion, man. He's the one who gives, right, that rank. And he's the one who will make your tactics and your antics of challenging somebody the Most High dealing with, he'll make it fall, man.
Right.
He'll make you a laughingstock in front of everybody. And that's what we're praying, that none of us fall into that we are made a laughingstock in front of our peers, in front of our own brothers and sisters, because we sought the wrong thing in front of our own brothers and sisters. We sought the wrong notoriety. Right. Instead of being approved of the Most High, we sought to be approved of man. And the Most High wasn't dealing with that, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 147, Bible Shah. Let me get one more precept on that. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 147. And let's start at verse 6. Bring this up.
Book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 6.
Bring it up.
The Lord lifteth up the meek.
The Lord lifteth up the meek. And that's what happened with Moses. That's what happened with all these righteous examples, right? Abel, people who were meek, the Most High lifted up. Read.
Con. He casteth the wicked down to the ground.
But he casteth the wicked down to the ground.
See that?
So there is no way around the power of the Most High and how he's been setting up the chosen within his chosen, and how he's been pushing these prophecies forward. And he's going to choose men who are meek. Right. He's going to choose women who are humble. He's going to choose individuals of the stock to do his bidding. And Lord forbid you high-minded, preeminent Negroes step in the way. There is going to be, right, calamity. And that's why I want to ultimately, you know what I'm saying, just show like this spirit is prevalent. Let's go back to First Maccabees and let's finish this off, because after that happened, that spirit, after it got destroyed, it hopped on some priest. First Maccabees 5, and let's start at verse 65.
Book of First Maccabees, chapter 5, verse 65. Afterwards went Judas forth with his brethren, and fought against the children of Esau in the land toward the south, where he smote Hebron and the towns thereof, and pulled down the fortress of it, and burnt the towers thereof round about. Man,
it must have been mighty to see Esau fall like that. Keep reading.
From thence he removed to go into the land of the Philistines, and passed through Samaria.
Right, read.
At that time, certain priests.
Certain who?
Certain priests.
Read.
Desirous to show their valor.
Desirous to make a name for themselves as well. Read.
Were slain in battle, for that they went out to fight unadvisedly.
Because they did the same dang on thing. They chose to go against rank, to go against the order. Man, we're gonna make our own camp. We're gonna do our own thing. And the Most High not dealing with that spirit because he see your heart about it. It wasn't for him. It was for you. Right? Now, who are we learning that from today? America. America pushes, right? Let me look this up. What was the singing show?
America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. But what was before America's Got Talent? Huh?
American Idol. Oh, yeah.
American Idol. Which one came first? Was it Got Talent or Idol? It really doesn't matter, because they both have the same spirit. But I remember this one going for a while, right? American Idol. Now you all have to understand that through the prophecy you were swindled, because we were given the commandment to not do idols.
Right.
Why would you even go on a show that was about idolizing? through the voice of singing, through the voice of celebrityism, right? This whole this whole thing, right, from its conception to now, is about what this country is about. Seeking preeminence, man. Right? It's seeking preeminence, man. You shouldn't have to, and I got a problem with this, man. Because here you had mostly all Jake. Now they're gonna show these examples of, but you had mostly Jake on these shows, man, trying to change your life, standing before the slave auction and stripping themselves in a spiritual manner to be accepted, to be sold. Because when they choose you, you're signing that slavery contract, man.
Right.
You got to understand the dotted line about this thing, man. You're likening yourselves right back to the auction blocks, man. To be a sambo, to be a gesture, right? And this is the spirit that you have to fight against, right? You have to fight against in this wicked, and I might be spelling that wrong. Is it with a
gesture?
Yeah. Let me see. I'm looking for the gesture.
Yeah.
I might be spelling this wrong.
It's
Jester.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
There we go. Jester. That's what I was looking for. Right. Here we go. Right away, a jester or a fool. Right. I mean, right off the bat, right? Mm-hmm. A fool. You want to be a fool. And known as an idolized fool. Because that's what you are when you transform your righteous state of being a God on the earth to chasing after vanity, man. Right? You're a fool. And I don't have to read, but it's a professional entertainer was called a jester. Right? A professional entertainer. And they were there to amuse the nobles, the royalty. They had to do community. I mean, they had to do it through comedy. They did it through music, storytelling, and acrobatics. So they changed the name of Jester to American Idol to amuse, right, those with money to change your life. But you're signed under a contract. You got to talk to these people who made it through those competitions in the contracts and the things they endured. It's not a pretty picture. It's not a pretty story, man. And look at that wicked face. Look at that. Just laughing at you. Esau's in the background, just laughing at you, man. Jake wants to be, and that's probably what the wicked enemy spirit of preeminence is. It probably looks just like this guy who's holding his hand, laughing at you because he drove you to destruction. Right? He's driving you, right, to go against righteousness, to go against the Most High. I want to go to something. Who's heard of American exceptionalism? Exceptionalism, right? Because the spirit of preeminence is a learned thing from this country, man, that we see our people digging into today. And that's why, and you look up American exceptionalism, that's why America is about to fall. Because America, right, they have the spirit of preeminence on them over the whole world. You're learning from the whore at this point in time, at this point in prophecy. Everyone's going to be learning to get drunk off of the wine of her doctrine. All right. And we can check out this definition, but American exceptionalism is the belief that the United States is inherently unique, distinct, and superior to other nations due to its founding democratic principles and historical evolution. That's preeminence. That's preeminence. That God has blessed America. And that the white man, that's what they call themselves, white supremacists. It's always been about preeminence. That spirit, that preeminent evil, wicked damn spirit, man. And now our people, right? And where does America think they're preeminent at?
Their army.
Their army.
Military.
Right? The military. Their science.
Yeah.
Their wealth.
Yeah.
All these things are why the prophecies are kicking off like they're kicking off, right? Now, what does it say? Scientific preeminence in American domestic and diplomatic priority. These people think they're going to be on top forever, right? Their economic growth, energy, and environment, right? Science, diplomacy, all of these things being mentioned is craziness. It's craziness. As I look back over the last decade, my view that the United States scientific advancement remains critical not only to our diplomacy, but to our prosperity and well-being is even stronger. They believe that their success with COVID-19 vaccines, 5G, quantum computing, and AI, they're the superior person. They believe that they're superior over all people, but it's a smokescreen. It's a smokescreen. Your science and your military, these things are going to be on the way out, man. We play this video, right, on American exceptionalism, and then we're going to get a precept about this.
American exceptionalism is based on the idea that when the country was created,
let's listen to this. Lord willing, the sound is on.
American exceptionalism is based on the idea that when the country was created at the end of the 18th century, it was truly exceptional. The idea that people would govern themselves and elect representatives to do their bidding was at the time truly exceptional and truly astounding. Today, American exceptionalism is more a refrain that's repeated as part of a myth to justify the idea that American is somehow different and special from the world. But liberal democracy abounds around the world. There are several countries that have a better balance between their market-oriented capitalism and social productivity. And today you're more likely to achieve the American dream in Finland than you are in the United States.
He says today you're more likely to achieve the American dream in Finland than in the United States. Because their idea of exceptionalism being the ones of preeminence is starting to deteriorate. And even this analyst, this sodomitish analyst, he sees the writing on the wall.
So American exceptionalism today is more of an empty phrase.
American exceptionalism today, they're starting to consider it an empty phrase. Because the Most High is shifting gears with the pompous arrogancy of those who have the preeminent evil spirit. They always have to get touched up by the Most High. There is no escape.
That recalls a more glorious past, but one that is utterly probably devoid of, today is more of an empty phrase. So American exceptionalism today is more of an empty phrase that recalls a more glorious past, but one that is utterly probably devoid of specialness in the way that it was in the 18th century.
So they're remembering their past. They are remembering how they conquered things. They put up these statues of all of their slave owners and people on horses carrying the northern kingdom around and carrying the southern kingdom around. Hey, if you go to Indianapolis and you go downtown, they got these giant statues, man, of oppressors on horses, right? Jamming northern kingdom and Jacob, man, just walking around with them. Hey, they glorify these things, man. I don't know if you remember that when we were out there. But they had these crazy statues, man, right? Maybe we could pull that up, right? I don't know what the statues are called, right? I don't know what the statues are called, but let's see if we can pull it up. Let me see. Downtown Indianapolis. Let's see if we can pull this up. They have, let's see if we can pull this up, man. They have all these statues. I don't know if we can find it or not. Was it like Downtown Square or something? Let's see. There's this very ridiculous, right, statue, and we may not be able to find it. We may not be able to find it. I know people took pictures while we were out there, but it was just, and look at all the freakism that I'm getting even before I find what I'm looking for. It's just all this freakism, man. Nakedness, and it's just off deities. It's just off, man. And so this is the kingdom that moves. Is that it? Okay. Where is the one where it had the Native Americans, right? It had the Native Americans. It had the guy on a horse, and he was walking with them on chains. See, they don't have that one on here. That one's a little bit too edgy, right? But these things were out in plain view. There's pretty much, the context we want to talk about, right? How they have such pride and bold and arrogancy, right, about these things that they do and have in plain view, right? Now, this is the one with the sailors. It's not what I want, but for context and sake of time, we'll just move on. Let's go to the book. Let's go to the book of Psalms. I wish I could have found it, but it had an image of, let me see if I put in Native Americans, man. I really wanted, see, they want, let me say Native American and chains. Yeah, someone may have seen it and have been there and they saw what I'm talking about. It's funny that it's not on the internet, as if they don't want people to see that particular image, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms. And let's go to Psalms chapter 49. Let's go to the book of Psalms. And let's go to the book chapter 49. And let's start at verse 7. Bring this out. Start at verse 6, rather, matter of fact.
Book of Psalms chapter 49, verse 6.
Read aloud.
Book of Psalms chapter 49, verse 6. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can be any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him.
Those who boast in their riches and boast in their trust of those riches, their wealth, right? By no means can they redeem their brother. By no means can you offer salvation or save the soul, man. Right? By not any means is what it says. By any means. You can't do those things, man. So the Most High is going to continue, right, to show you how to recognize that spirit. Because these people who have that spirit, they're going to be trusting in their wealth. They're going to be trusting in their military. They're going to be trusting in their wicked country. They're going to be trusting in these means of no way possible to give you salvation, man. Let's jump down and let's start at about verse 11.
Verse 11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
What's happening in America?
That their houses shall continue forever.
What's the preeminent spirit on this country?
That their houses shall continue forever. And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
And they do. They call their lands, their streets, their states, their borders, right? Their capitals. Hey, they're all after their own names. Read.
Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like the beast that perish.
He is like the beasts that perish. And that's a mighty precept. They're like the beasts that perish. You can't. So that's the part that we're saying about vanity, right? You don't consider that cat that got ran over as roadkill, that deer that's on us. Hey, they're gonna perish likened unto these beasts, right? Keep reading.
Verse 13. This their way is their folly.
This their way is their folly. Read.
Yet their prosperity approve their sayings.
And their riches make them prideful. Their prosperity approves the way that they think. That's why they think how they think. That preeminent evil, wicked spirit. If you're in America and you're the so-called Blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, you can't have that posterity of the same as your oppressors, right? Towards how you move now towards your own people who are under the same plight as you, man. It's crazy and that's off, man. Let's bounce down to verse 18.
Verse 18. Though while he lived, he blessed his soul. And man will praise thee when thou doest well to thyself.
Read.
He shall go to the generation of his fathers.
What happens?
He shall go to the generation of his fathers.
What's the touch up?
He shall go to the generation of his fathers. They shall never see light.
The Most High says he's going to touch you up. Keep reading.
Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beast that perish.
And you're going to perish with your understanding of being preeminent. Is going to destroy you for that. That understanding that you held on to of wickedness is going to destroy you for that, man. Right? So there's no room for that spirit in Israel, man. There's no room for it. So if you find yourself around that spirit, if you find that spirit coming upon you, hey, pray that the Most High removes that thing, man. Pray that the Most High delivers you from that mindset, right? Let's go to the book of Esther real quick. Through the spirit. Let's go to the book of Esther and let's get a precept. Let's get a precept on how, right? And let's start at chapter 3 on how this country, right? And the people of this country has always had this spirit. And that's why you're going to see America fall how it has to fall, right? This place is getting lined up by the Most High. Let's go to Esther chapter 3, and let's start at verse number 1.
Book of Esther chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus, that's good. Okay. Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedan, man, these names, Hammedah, the Agagite, and advance him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. So the preeminence was given to Haman by the king Ahasuerus, right? Or let's for short just say Ahasuerus, right? He promoted Haman, all right? And you see that Haman, right, was given all of these what? Preeminence. It was, he advanced him, right? And set his seat, what? High above all of the princes. So right there, you have the Edomite mindset, because the Edomite mindset thrives off of classism. They thrive off of it, right? Keep reading. Verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed. They did what? And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed. They bowed down. So it supersedes just traditionalism or they get off on that, man. When you look up, and I don't know if they're gonna show it because they didn't even want to show me. They didn't even want to show me. Let me see if I can find it. They didn't even want to show me this statue
per se. So I don't know if they're going to show this, but you have, let's see, black children. Let me see if I can pull this up. Being walked on right by white men. I don't know if they're going to show this image. See, they're not going to show this image, man. See, we have to go to like encyclopedia. They use these children they stepped on these children, right, in times past. And there's images of this. But this wicked world is seeking to hide what they did, right? They don't want to show, they keep showing white men holding children's hands. That's not what happened, right? They were stepping on these children. I wish I had an image up, man, right? But they were stepping, using these children, right, to step on them, right, in times past, man.
Basically, like,
say it again.
I was gonna say, you saying basically like how those TV shows, things of that nature, they will roll down a red carpet for like royal people, stuff like that, a rose petal on the floor.
Exactly.
So they wouldn't step on the pavement, things like that.
Exactly. They would make our Israelite children lay down, you know, or Israelite, and they use them as the rub. They use them as to keep their boots clean, man. And so, and this is why I say, you know, they're scrubbing these sites so that these things can't be found. These accounts can't be quickly researched, and they be condemned. They don't want to be condemned, right? But through the Spirit, let's keep reading.
Go on.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. All the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king has so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not.
What did our brother do?
But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence.
Nor did him any reverence. You don't get to use me for your ego, right? And his ego was hurt after that. Read.
Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandments?
See that? Read.
Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew.
So all the king's men was like, man, hey, let's go snitch on him, man. He ain't listening to us. Let's go tell Mordecai that he said he don't do this because he a Jew. Read.
And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath.
Then his ego was hurt. Wait a minute. I'm above all of you Negroes, man. You niggas better bow down to me. Read.
And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
And that's the spirit of Esau. That's the spirit of Esau's enemies. They seek to make you bow before them and to destroy you for any insubordination, for standing up for the Most High. And that spirit of preeminence has taken hold of our own people against our own people. That's why there's a word called coon. Oh, you got something?
I was just thinking he was trying to pull a Adolf Hitler.
Right. I mean, the same spirit. Mm-hmm. They call him the Nazi. The same spirit, man. Right? The destruction. Let's go to Esther. Matter of fact, I want to jump to a precept real quick. Let me get Bel and the dragon. Just to show. Let me scroll up. Let me get there. I want to get Bel and the dragon, right? Just to show how we moved in the spirit. And this is a beautiful example that Daniel portrayed with these idols, right? In the same type of manner in front of a higher power, the king of sorts, right? Royalty, or those who are pushing out these commandments. Are you going to keep God's commandments? Or are you gonna fall into the long list of Israelites who put down God's commandments, right, to please the king, to blend in, and to go back to living life as normal. Start at verse 4. 1 and verse 4.
The book of the Bell of the Dragon, verse 4. And the king worshipped it and went daily to adore it. But Daniel worshipped his own God.
Say it again.
But Daniel worshipped his own God.
Matter of fact, start at verse 3 for context, Bible Shop.
Verse 3. Now the Babylonians had an idol called Bel, and there were spent upon him every day 12 great measures of fine flour, and 40 sheep, and 6 vessels of wine. And the king worshipped it and went daily to adore it. But Daniel worshipped his own God. And the king said unto him, Why doest not thou worship Bel?
Read.
Who answered and said, Because I may not worship idols made with hands.
Right.
But the living God.
Right.
Who have created the heaven and the earth and have
sovereignty
over all flesh.
And right. And so this is a clear cut through the spirit, right? See if we can get some of these back on. This is a clear cut through the spirit, right? Of how the Most High is going to continue to influence those who actually sincerely want to serve him, right? You're going to stand before kings and you're going to have to give an account of why you have on fringes. You're going to stand before CEOs and your presidents and your managers. You're going to have to give an account of why you were on the streets bringing it out. You're going to have to stand before the judge and you're going to have to give an account on why you defended your brother with your life and you didn't let the police kill him in front of you. You're going to have to give an account. You have to stand right on the living God, man. You have to stand on Yahweh, right? By Hashem Yahweh Shah. And when you give these accounts, hey, stand firm, stand strong, and be courageous. Have faith that the Most High will even fight for you, right? Let's go back to Esther. But now let's get the Most High touching up their preeminent spirit. Let's go to the book of Esther, chapter 9, right? Let's cut straight to it, right? Esther, chapter 9. And let's start at verse number 24.
Book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 24. Because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews,
right,
had devised against the Jews to destroy them.
Had devised against us to kill us.
And cast pure, that is the law, to consume them and to destroy them.
Read.
But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows. And so that preeminent spirit is going to get you jammed up every time. The preeminent spirit here is going to get America jammed up. And that's what you have to look forward to. Right. Even in this article, I forgot to bring out, but I'll bring it out now. Right? The US government is shutting down. What does it look like when you see the Most High getting ready to touch something up? Hey, it doesn't just happen, you know what I'm saying, right away. It's going to be, he's going to stagger that thing, man. He may have, a pestilence kick off over here. He may have a famine kick off after that, man. He may have bombs and army come down the street. Hey, the U.S. government, and this was 13 hours ago. This was just yesterday. It has shut down partially. They say partially. Despite last minute funding, they got funded by the Senate last minute. If you're a nation that's on top, why are you having so much trouble funding your nation? And it's not about them not having these funds. It's about them sabotaging this place. Right? They're shooting themselves in the foot. Right. And the Most High is making them do that. You got something? I was just finna add to that. Brother had put in the chat that the U.S. apparently bombed Iran.
The U.S. bombed Iran. They did it? They did it? All right, let's look this up. See that? Breaking news. Breaking news. When did that happen?
Believe like an hour ago, actually.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Right? Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it. So even while we're talking about the spirit of preeminence, you have judgment taking place in the earth. You have judgment taking place in the earth.
Just you, building your app on base 44. Describe it. And
fair use. Fair use. So it's not saying anything. I don't know if someone just put this together. Is this?
It's probably just saying speculation. Oh, well, it says speculation right there.
Let's see. I think this is. Alpha explosion through Iran. U.S. behind attacks. You have these examples of what could be possible from the ground, and it looks like a lot of destruction in their nation. How they were able to get over there and the airspace used, it had to be Israel, because Israel is the closest, right, to this place. But then they sent all those tankers. You know, this was what, 7 hours ago? So they're kicking this thing off on the Sabbath, right? They're kicking these things off on the Sabbath. So let's put Iran, right? Let's look this up real quick. So they're saying that there was some sort of bomb explosions through Iran, man, right? So it's going down. They're saying somewhere Iran's Bandar Abbas, right? I mean, hey, now a response is imminent. Now a response is imminent. Also, so we don't have to keep playing all these different news clips. They're saying, hey, we're gonna come after you guys, right? If you attack us. So if there was an attack, hey, this is the beginning of the end anyway for America, right? From their government shutdowns to, pestilence and
trying to start wars.
Trying to start wars. Even the brother Naquan went into a beautiful lesson through the spirit, right? The Black Swan events, right? All these different issues that they're propagating is coming for this country. Now, how did Rome fall? I was looking this up earlier. I'm going to look it up now. How did Rome fall? It says the Western Roman Empire fell in 476 CE, right? When a German, leader, emperor, it says, marking the end over 1,000 years of Roman dominance, the collapse was a gradual process, is what it says, rather than a single event caused by a combination of invasions, economic crises, internal political instability, and military decline. So you're seeing the same makings, right, take hold of this country that took hold of this Roman Empire, man, right? How did they fall? Constantly going to war, constant warfare and overspending created severe financial instability, right? Worsened by high inflation. And that's what we're experiencing right now. Crazy high inflation. Over-reliance on slave labor, right? So all these things are what's going to lead to the downfall of the United States through the prophecies, of course, that the Most High has put out, man, right? Let's go to the book of Isaiah. So once this place falls through the Spirit, don't be crying because the place you thought had preeminence, it really was all vanity. All right, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 60. You don't worry about that. It's all good. Through the Spirit. Let's go to the book of Isaiah and let's get the prophecy. Isaiah chapter 60, right? All praise to the Most High, man. If these things are popping off in the earth. Isaiah chapter 60. And this is what you have to look forward to, man. The Most High is going to touch up these evil, wicked spirits, even the spirit of preeminence. Let's go to verse 14.
Book of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. All they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
And everyone who had the spirit of preeminence on them are going to bow down to who the Most High is going to put preeminence upon. He's going to flip that whole thing over, right? Keep reading.
Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated.
And that's what the preeminent do. They hate the Israelites, man. Whereas we have been forsaken and hated, read.
So that no man went through thee. I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations.
The Most High is going to make us an eternal excellency, right? To where we're going to flourish throughout, right? And we're going to prosper throughout. So, Lord willing, right, through the Spirit, you've been edified, right? Lord willing, through the power of the Most High, right? You've been, taking notes and, keeping watch on these prophecies and keeping watch on your spirit, man, right? But with that, we're going to get ready to wrap up. We're going to go ahead and get ready to close down. Do you have any closing precepts? All right, Khan. Hey, all praises, right, goes to the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. With that, we're going to say Shabbat, Shalom, Kwam Yasharal. Shalom.